there guys, how are ya? And so I'm back with more Wes Craven reviews. In this video, we're going to be reviewing Red Eye. And so what Red Eye is about, it's about this character Lisa, who is played by Rachel McAdams. And so Lisa is pretty much this hotel manager. She works as a hotel manager, and her grandmother has recently passed away. And so she wants to go to her funeral. So she goes to the airport to take a plane there. And so she wants to go to Miami, where this funeral is located in. And so she's basically, her first flight, to Miami gets delayed, and so she decides to take the red-eye flight to Miami. And then while she's waiting for her next flight, she comes across this man known as Jackson, who was played by, of course, Cillian Murphy, Jackson Rickner, who was the main villain in the entire film. They're talking to each other and flirting with each other for a while, and then it comes to find out that it's a weird coincidence that they are basically on the plane assigned to the same seats, and so they're assigned next to each other, and so that was kind of a coincidence there. He reveals to Lisa that he is this terrorist. He's threatening her. This guy is just a really, really bad guy, it turns out to be. He turns out to be this really bad terrorist guy. He works for this group of people who plan to assassinate this Homeland Security, Charles Keith. And so it's up to Lisa to save Charles Keith by making a phone call. And so she makes one, she's forced to make a phone call. The entire film takes place on the plane, and so she's forced to make this phone call to save Charles Keith. She refuses to cooperate with Jackson Rickner. Jackson is going to threaten to kill her father, who goes by the name of Joe. And so Joe is played by, of course, Brian Cox. Jackson has he's hired a hitman to kill Lisa's father, because this hitman is located literally right outside of Lisa's father's house, and then it gets very, very intense and very suspenseful, and this is one of the best Wes Craven films ever. Oh my gosh, this is a great, great film. But but let's talk about the main villain, Jackson Rickner, who was played by Cillian Murphy. An outstanding performance. Just, oh my goodness, this is a performance I've been wanting to see for a long, long time. And now I've seen this film many years ago on cable one time when I was a little kid, and I couldn't really understand it the first time because in fact I've never watched it all the way through. I've always thought that it was a very boring movie. I just and that's normal. As a kid, you're not very good with comprehending a complex story like this, and so you're not very good as a kid, just comprehending a very complex story like this. It's not very normal for a little kid like myself at the time to comprehend a story like this, a storyline. But now that I'm older, I'm able to comprehend a storyline like this and appreciate it and understand great filmmaking techniques. For some reason, this movie was a box office success. It was very successful in the box office, and I didn't even know about it until just recently. And if you saw my Rest in Peace Wes Craven video, I mentioned that not a lot of people saw this movie in the theaters. A lot of people did see it in the theaters, and this film received good reviews by critics and fans of Wes Craven's work. And so that was very, very cool, and I was very satisfied and glad to hear that, because this is a very underrated film now. It's a very forgotten about movie. Not a lot of people talk about it anymore. And so please, if you have the chance, guys, see Red Eye. It's a really good film, and I think it's excellent. It's awesome. But let's talk about Rachel McAdams as Lisa. Yeah, she gives an outstanding performance as well. They both, Rachel McAdams and Cillian Murphy, they both work fantastic together. They both work great together, and so I hope to see them in more films in the future. Probably not going to happen, but I'm hoping that's the case. So, but yeah, I mean, I love this film. I think it's great, and so that's why I'm going to give Red Eye an A. Yeah, I mean, it was a smidge away from getting an A plus. It could have been a masterpiece film. It could have been that masterpiece movie. So, but this movie does not feel like a Wes Craven film. It really does not, because Wes Craven's not really known for doing supernatural suspense thrillers. He's more known for just doing straight up horror, like the horror genre. You know, like I didn't even know Wes Craven directed this movie. Like when I saw it many years ago, like well the first half of it I never watched it all the way through many years ago, but now I did. But you know, it's very amazing how it doesn't even feel like a Wes Craven film at all, and it's hard to tell when it is a Wes Craven film because this film is set in just like this all takes place on an airplane, and amazing. That's awesome. I think that's great, and so I'm very glad to see that this movie was a success in the box office because it really did deserve it. Pretty strange because I mean, like the first time I found out that Wes Craven directed this film, I mean, my first reaction was, "Wow, really? Wes Craven, the guy that gave us Freddy Krueger and Ghostface, directed Red Eye?" I was blown away. I was very blown away by that. Like, because this is such a well-directed film. It's incredibly directed. It is I mean, it's really inspiring too. And Wes Craven was managed to fit all those intensities. I mean, the thrills and the suspense. And in some ways the terrifying stuff in here too. You know, like all in this very short amount of, like of a length time. You know, I mean, like it's the pacing is very good too. I love the pacing. So yeah, I love the pacing in this movie. It doesn't feel dragged. It doesn't feel, um, like it doesn't feel in any way, shape, or form boring. I don't know why when I was a little kid thought that. I'm very stupid for that. When I was a little kid, that young Justin thought that this movie was boring. It's not boring whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. But yeah, the thing is that Wes Craven directed two movies in 2005. It was this film and it was also Cursed. Yeah, I mean, they both were really enjoyable films by Wes Craven, just really enjoyable films. So, yeah, I like that about this movie, that it came out the same year as Cursed, that werewolf film that Wes Craven directed. You can really tell Wes Craven did a great job with this, man. Oh my gosh, this is a great movie. It's really good. So, if you haven't checked it out, you really need to do it. You have to do it. You have to check it out. It's a great supernatural suspense thriller. It's very good. Very, very good movie. I highly recommend it. So, yes, I really do. I really mean it. I highly recommend it. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for some more videos. Take it easy, guys, and take care, everyone.